The Simpsons are without a doubt the most iconic sitcom family of all time. And you know how the old saying goes. With great popularity comes a plethora of video games. Some are terrible, some are fantastic, and some are just okay. The PlayStation 2 was host to 3 Simpsons video games. The Simpsons Hit and Run, which I have played on the channel and is considered by most people to be one of the greatest licensed games of all time. The Simpsons Skateboarding, which is one of the worst games I have ever played and I wouldn't even waste water flushing it down the toilet. And the subject of today's video, The Simpsons Road Rage, which falls somewhere in the middle. Road Rage was released in 2001. It was developed by Radical Entertainment and published by EA and Fox Interactive. And is, well, have you ever played Sega's arcade classic Crazy Taxi? Because that's kinda what The Simpsons Road Rage is. So much so that Sega decided to sue Fox Interactive, EA, and Radical for patent infringement. If you haven't played Crazy Taxi though, let me break it down for you. You pick a Simpsons character, you pick a map, and depending on what difficulty you've selected, you'll start with a certain amount of time. You will have to go and find someone to pick up. The passengers have these blue rings around them. Drive into it and that person will jump in your car. Then an arrow will appear in the middle of the screen as well as a new smaller timer. Depending on how fast you get your passenger to their destination will determine how much money you get for that trip. Fast trips as well as completing trip objectives can also add more time to your run, earning you more money. Mr. Burns has bought all of the public transport in Springfield and has replaced it with his new radioactive buses, which is causing severe harm to the citizens and the environment. Seeing this, Homer decides to start his own taxi service, and looking at the character select screen, so has everyone else in Springfield. The large roster of playable characters is great, but I also feel like it's a little pointless as there are no stats differentiating them. Also, the unlock system is a bit trash. You see, every time you complete a run, the money made from that run gets added to an accumulative total. Once you hit a certain money milestone, you can unlock either a map or a new character. My advice here is to get all the maps first. As I said before, the characters all play the same, and after 3 runs on the Evergreen Terrace map, you'll have had enough of it. That being said, let's jump into the maps, or districts, as this game likes to call them. The aforementioned Evergreen Terrace is the starter location. Iconic locations here include the Simpsons house, the Quickie Mart, Springfield Elementary, and the Springfield Church. This is a great level, and one I remember most from playing this game, as I could only ever get to location 2, and spoiler incoming, I didn't like that one very much. This district in terms of road layout is the most fun, and this is also the easiest place to grind money due to the generous trips, mixed in with the fact that there is an exploit on this level that will give you insane runs. I'll get it out of the way now, but sadly this is as good as it's going to get in terms of level design. But let's at least take a look at everything else here. The entertainment district is full of buildings and locations linked to leisure activities. The most iconic Simpsons location here is Moe's Tavern, but it also features King Toot's Music Shop, the Duff Brewery, and Barney's Bowlerama. I also like being able to drive into Sir Putz-a-Lot's Merry Old Fun Centre. I honestly can't put my finger on why I don't like this one, but maybe it's to do with the fact that most of the area is really generic looking and not Simpsons-like. Evergreen Terrace had the bonus of having that suburban feel to the level, which is very Simpsons-esque, but this just looks like any old city once you've passed the few iconic locations at the start of the run. Springfield Dam. Okay, this one sucks, but it's also great, and I'll explain why. As a game about rushing around and trying to drive with some sort of accuracy to get to goals in a time limit, this is horribly designed. However, as just a general level to free ride in, which you can do in the Sunday Drive mode, I do like it a lot. We've just been in a residential area and a busy part of the city, and now we're out in nature, so I do have to commend the devs on the variety so far. The iconic locations are of course the Springfield Dam itself, which can be driven down for what I think is a shortcut, but it could also just be the same distance as going around it. The Stonecutters Clubhouse, Camp Krusty, and Mayor Quimby's house are all featured here too. So, a perfect location for secret meetings, getting bullied, or taking political bribes. The nuclear power plant takes out the award for biggest piece of shit this game has. Everything is so compact and close together, so the trips are boring, and there's also these barriers up everywhere that the arrow doesn't acknowledge, so you can get stuck very easily and fail a lot of trips. The only landmark here outside of the power plant itself, at least the only one that I saw, is the Leftorium at the mall. And even then, the first time I got this as a destination, I failed because I had no idea how to get into the mall. I hate this level, and if I ever have to play this game again, I would rather eat nuclear waste than play this level. Downtown Springfield to me kind of feels like a better entertainment district. It features the stadium, Springfield Town Hall, and the Springfield Hospital, and just driving through it, this really did feel like Springfield for some reason, unlike the entertainment district. Also, unlike the last few levels, this is designed great for the frantic arcade taxi gameplay, and none of the trips felt unfair. Overall, this is probably the second best level in the game behind Evergreen Terrace. The Springfield Mountains is the final level in the Simpsons Road Rage, and I am happy to report that we are ending our taxi adventure on a good note. The mountains are home to Burns Mansion and the iconic tire fire, and probably the coolest set piece in the entire game, the Springfield Gorge, which is that thing that Homer jumps over on the skateboard. The mountain skybox is a slightly overcast one, which is always going to get bonus points from me as I love anything to do with a rainy aesthetic in video games. All in all, this is a pleasant way to end a game that has been so 50-50 so far. But there is another mode that I haven't touched on yet, so let's jump into that. Mission mode. Mission mode is 10 missions that are honestly going to take you quicker to complete than it does for them to load, due to the insane loading times that this game has. You will be doing one of two things in these missions: taking a taxi fare while avoiding being hit by Mr. Burns' limo, or collecting/destroying a certain amount of objects in a set time. This is also a neat way to test out the characters before unlocking them, as each mission has a set character you play as. But failing a mission and having to sit through another one of these loading screens can really hinder the enjoyment. So, the missions we have here are Willie's Paper Shredder. Here, you play as groundskeeper Willie, taking out 12 newspaper boxes, as Mr. Burns has filled them with pro-transit propaganda. This one takes place in the entertainment district and is fairly easy due to there being 20 newspaper boxes on the map. Homer on the Run. You play as Bart in the power plant area. You need to take Homer back to work after he left to watch a baseball game, but Mr. Burns is waiting at the power plant, and if he hits your car, it's game over. However, this is very easy to just dodge him with a swift maneuver and get Homer back to work. Barney's Rage. Playing as Barney in the downtown area, Barney has had a rough night and chooses to commit vehicular manslaughter on the mascots of Springfield. You hit 12 of those poor bastards to win. The path they were on was a little confusing, so I failed the first try, but on the second sweep through, I finished this one pretty easy. Otto's Driving Test. Otto's annual driving test is the purpose of this mission. We are back in the entertainment district, specifically in the mini mall car park. You'll be taking out 15 of the 20 light poles that are in the car park. This one's also pretty straightforward, but the bus is kind of awkward to turn due to how big it is. Snake's Day Off. Snake is out on parole, and the community service that he has chosen to partake in is taking out Mr. Burns' supply of nuclear waste. So, we're on the power plant map, and we have to take out 20 barrels of waste to finish the mission. This is another easy one, as the path that the barrels are on is very straightforward. They'll Never Take Me Alive. Grandpa Simpson has forgotten to take his medication, and now he thinks that the trash receptacles of Springfield have it out for him. So, the senile, unmedicated old man will be getting behind the wheel, at Springfield Dam of all places, to take out 12 trash cans, with the last one being over this epic jump. I failed this jump so many times due to not being able to line up Grandpa properly after getting the 11th trash can, so much so to the point where I felt like jumping off a cliff myself. Save the hovercar. Frink and his beloved hovercar are the stars of this next mission. It's the same deal as the Homer going back to work one, except this time we have to take Mayor Quimby to City Hall without Burns hitting us. I did this in one go, and honestly I think I might have gone the wrong way because I didn't see Burns spawn here once. Not the trees. Okay, this mission made me insane. I am not lying when I say I had 20 plus attempts at it, and you want to know a secret? I skipped it. After I failed so many times, the game felt sorry for me and offered me a skip option, and you bet I took it. But that's enough complaining. What do we actually have to do here? Well, we play as Lisa in the mountains area, and we have to knock over these log piles, which counts for 3. So technically there's only 8 and not the 24 that it's saying we have to knock over. However, That 8th one evaded me one too many times, so I skipped. I do not care to complete this, and also it is a 50-second mission stuck behind a 50-second loading screen that has to load every time, even after you hit retry, which I don't understand because I'm already loaded into the level. Just put me back at the start. I hate this mission. Krusty's Escape. This one is about Krusty being sick of tour buses that follow the street signs that mark the path to his house. That sentence was an absolute mouthful, and I don't even know if it makes sense, but that is what it says in the game when describing this mission, so we're just going to go with it. So anyway, we are Krusty, we are downtown, and we have to take out 15 of these signs that have his head on them, and then we have completed the mission. Burns Arena. The final mission of the game, and to be honest, I was expecting something a lot harder. Thankfully, it was a breeze. We play as Homer in the mountains level, but only in Mr. Burns' mansion section. We have to take down 20 statues, which is kind of a lie because the statues are in 2 parts, and if you manage to hit both of them, you get 2 points. So technically only 10 statues. I guess they just wanted to put the bigger number there to make it look harder or something, but this is a very easy mission. And with that, mission mode is complete. There is actually a reward as well for finishing the mission mode. It is a second car for Homer, that being the car built for Homer. But I skipped over that Lisa mission, so I have no idea why I'm being rewarded, as I am a big fat fraud. Now we have the car built for Homer, so let's try it out, and there is another mode that we can try it out in. That is Sunday Drive. This is the game's free mode. You can still do fares and all of that, so this could sort of serve as a practice mode, but there's no timer on anything, so you don't even need to do fares. You can just drive around the maps and explore them at your own leisure. There is something really nice about just calmly exploring Springfield. Granted, we get to do this a little better in the next game, but this is still a welcome addition. Also, the music here slaps. This is one of my favourite tracks from any Simpsons game ever. There is one more mode to cover. It's the multiplayer mode called Head to Head. But I didn't get to check this out myself as I don't have any friends to play with. However, I read the manual and this is how it works. You and a friend choose a money limit, be it $5, $10 or $15,000. Then choose a level. Once you have loaded in, you and your friend will have to find the one passenger that has spawned on the map and take them to where they need to go. So, if there is only one fare available at a time, what does the second player do once the first player has gotten that fare? Well, if the player without the passenger bumps into the other car, the passenger will change cars. So basically, you're trying to get to the passenger first and avoid being hit by your opponent to drop them off for money. No matter how long it takes you to get the passenger to their target destination, you will be rewarded $1,000. This sounds like it would be a really fun time, and I genuinely want to check it out after reading this. Maybe one day, I will find someone who likes me enough to play The Simpsons Road Rage with me. Maybe one day. But until that day, I'm pretty content with my experience playing Simpsons Road Rage. It is a good 30 to 60 minutes of fun, which is fine for a game that bases itself off an arcade-like formula. Sure, some of the missions were frustrating, but the actual meat and potatoes of this game functions great and is fun. The maps could have been a bit better designed, but as I said before, they're going to nail that element in the next game. I'm also going to introduce a new ranking system today because I can. So I'm going to base games on a score out of 10 now, and I'll do my absolute best to avoid 0.5s because then technically I'd be ranking it out of 20, and you know what, I said 10. I said 10, there will be 10 potential scores. So with that being said, I can confidently award The Simpsons Road Rage a 6.5 out of... Just kidding, it's just a 6. Just a plain old 6. 6 out of 10. Not great, not terrible, but just a little bit better than a mid game. Alright, so if you are still here, thank you so much for your time today. It always means the world when someone wants to listen to me ramble on about video games, and I will be forever grateful for every single view I get. If you have any memories with this game, please feel free to pop them in the comments below. as a big reason I started this YouTube channel is to create a place for people to reminisce on what made growing up and playing these games just so good and nostalgic for us. And last but not least, please drop a like on the video if you liked it and subscribe for more of this kind of content, because that would just make me very, very happy. And I need to be happy more in my life, so do that. Support a good cause in making Satin Black happy. Anyway, speaking of Satin Black, that's who I've been today. And thank you again for watching. It is always greatly, greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you in the next video.